Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. Now, we're almost there. We're about 6 shy. So do me a favor, subscribe, watch, but most importantly, share, because there's so much going on and so much more will be going on, that I can promise you. And one example, yesterday at Mar-a-Lago, Trump gave a press conference, and I'm not even sure why, as we were watching former President Carter with the funeral. It was like a 2-hour press conference at Mar-a-Lago. So I think it's important that we dissect the craziness that was going on at that press conference. And I first want to focus on what he said. And this I find extremely disturbing, about using the United States military to expand our territory. Yeah, I'm not the one who said it. He did. He wants to use, or he's willing to use, the U.S. military to expand U.S. territory. I want to show you a clip of him being asked if he plans to use military force to obtain Panama, Canada, and Greenland. Play that clip.
Please.
President, thank you. Wanted to touch on the world on fire that you mentioned, but let's start, if we could, with your references to Greenland and the Panama Canal, so forth. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No.
And can you tell us a little bit about what your plan is? Are you going to negotiate a new treaty? Are you going to ask the Canadians to hold a vote? What is the strategy?
Yeah, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal was built for our military. I'm not going to commit to that now. It might be that you'll have to do something. Look, the Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way. Giving the Panama Canal is why Jimmy Carter lost the election, in my opinion, more so maybe than the hostages. The hostages.
For almost 5 decades, somewhere in that area, Panama has been operating this. Now, he says it's China. He says it's Russia. I haven't seen any verifiable proof that that's accurate. But even so, how does it impact our economic security as our country continues to explode economically greater than any other country in the world by a multiple? He then goes on and he starts talking about Denmark and whether or not Denmark really controls Greenland. But before I show you the clip, I want to show you what on X, what they posted under this clip. Show it. ACYN. Well, actually, first they turn around and they put out Trump's comment. And this is, I'm blown away. And I hope you are too. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to Greenland. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. Not really the greatest quote of all time. So what did they do? What did ACYN do? They fact-checked it. And here's what they said. Denmark has a legal right to Greenland. Greenland can claim independence after state-crafting the outstanding areas of their administration and a referendum that also Denmark needs to accept. And then they posted the link into it. So the answer, Donald, and I'm blown away that the people who are around you, where are the people that care about you? Where are the people that are trying to protect you? This is ridiculous. If you want Greenland for whatever the reason may be, and after all of these years, I think it's only fair to do somewhat, a scintilla, a fact check. You don't even have to do it, Donald. Let somebody else do it. But yes, Denmark has control, legal right over Greenland. That's just a fact. Now let's watch the clip.
Greenland. your position is clear, but have you directed your staff to take any specific actions to draw plans? And can you elaborate again? You didn't rule out military coercion.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You look at, you don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
Again, astounding. Then a reporter goes on and asks about Canada. Play this clip.
Listen, I don't care what he says.
But, Sir, real fast, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force. Because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like, and it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We're spending hundreds of billions a year to take care of Canada. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. You know, they make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit. We don't need the cars. We don't need their lumber. We have massive fields of lumber. We don't need their lumber. We have to unrestrict them because stupid people put, restrictions on, but I can do that with an executive order. We don't need anything they have. We don't need their dairy products. We have more than they have. We don't need anything. So why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada? And I said that to, as I called him, Governor Trudeau. I said, listen, what would happen if we didn't subsidize you, if we didn't, because we give them a lot of money. We help them. As an example, we're buying icebreakers, and Canada wants to join us in the buying of icebreakers. I said, we don't really want to have a partner in the buying of icebreakers. We don't need a partner. But no right. Nope, no right. Here's what we have. We have a right not to help them with their financial difficulties because we owe $36 trillion too. We're going to start knocking it out pretty fast, but we're going to be able to do it because of energy and other things.
Yeah. Again, astounding. And what I wanted you just to focus for a quick second is you had the two American flags with the Trump crest in the dead center. And it reminds me, it's so reminiscent of when you're watching some of these old movies about, the Scots, or whether you had England and they were invading other territories within which to make it part of their territory. I just think it was a very interesting visual. To really put salt in the wound of Canada, I want to show you what Trump posted just the other day. He posted a map. And that's the map of Canada. It's, again, he goes, oh, Canada. Of course, the comment is by my pal, Ben Meiselas. But the Donald Trump picture is of Canada with, of course, the American flag superimposed inside of it. It's just, I don't know, rude, to say the least. Then one of the journalists asks Trump on his opinion of Elon Musk getting involved in foreign affairs. This, to me, is incredible. Play that clip.
Secondly, sir, Elon Musk has drawn some criticism and a lot of attention for some of his actions and provocative statements about foreign affairs, including in Europe. Your reaction to that, is that appropriate for...
You mean where he likes people that tended to be conservative? I don't know the people. I can say Elon's doing a good job, very smart guy. I don't know the people you're talking about. He was I know he said some negative things about a couple of people that are running for office, but that's not so unusual. Yes, please.
Let me also remind you that there's something called the Logan Act. Put it up, because Elon Musk should not be and is not permitted to actually go out there on behalf of the United States. Here's what the Logan Act says. It's a United States federal law that criminalizes the negotiation of a dispute between the United States and a foreign government by an unauthorized American citizen. Now, truth be told, we don't know what Elon Musk is negotiating or what he's talking about. It certainly appears that he is. Put that back up for 1 second, because at the end it says the intent behind the act is to prevent unauthorized negotiations from undermining the government's position. Let me be very clear about something. Right now, today, Joe Biden is still the president of the United States, and Elon Musk is not authorized to be going and to dealing with foreign governments regarding U.S. issues, plain and simple. Now, I also want to reflect upon when I say things are happening, there's so much chaos, there's so much going on. Yesterday, Judge Cannon blocked the release of special counsel Jack Smith's final report. And this is what Trump had to say about it. Play the clip.
And they signed. Remember, this is a man that said he wants the transition to be smooth. Well, you don't do the kind of things. You don't have a judge working real hard to try and embarrass you. Because I did nothing wrong. By the way, I did nothing, absolutely nothing wrong. If I did something wrong, I wouldn't be standing here right now, because I've won all these cases. Nobody's ever won so many cases as I have against the Justice Department. I mean, Jack Smith had cases all over the place. People were being subpoenaed, lives were being ruined. They were spending everything they had, money. We were helping them out. We had to. They were subpoenaing people that had no idea what they were even talking about. That's a sick group of people. And it was.
Yeah. First of all, much of that is not accurate. Okay. First of all, they didn't help me. And I got subpoenaed for all this, not the Jack Smith case, but for a dozen others. Let me also turn around and say two things. One, if the courts determined that Jack Smith should not have been appointed as special counsel, that Merrick Garland should not have been able to do it, yeah, I agree. The report should not be released, but not because Trump is innocent. In fact, he likes to claim that the Jack Smith end of that case has to do with their legal maneuvering and him winning. Has nothing to do with it. Yeah, it has to do with him winning the election and already putting out there that he intends on day number 1 to have the Attorney General, who will probably be Pam Bondi, put an end to the entire investigation. That's not a win based upon law. That's a win based upon your position. All right. He then goes on and he speaks about Meta. Meta, of course, being, Mark Zuckerberg, stopping fact-checking on his platforms. No, hear what I'm just saying. To stop fact-checking on the various platforms. Play the clip.
That's a nice return.
Meta announced that it will stop putting fact checks on posts on its website. And Meta said today it would stop putting fact checks on its website and instead allow community to
Well, I watched their news conference, and I thought it was a very good news conference. I think they've come a long way. Meta, Facebook, I think they've come a long way. I watched it. The man was very impressive. I watched it on Fox. I'm not allowed to say that. Say it?
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats that you have made to him in the past? With these questions?
Yeah, probably.
Wow. That he's doing this because he's afraid of Trump, who will now be president of the United States in under 2 weeks. So if all of this isn't crazy enough, I want to show you one last thing. Donald Trump has stated that he intends to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, because we intend to take that too. Play the clip.
Of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets, we're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can stop them.
Yeah. Once again, I'm not sure the rest of the world is going to change it from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. But then again, we'll see. I mean, I'm just not sure what's the point, what's the purpose of all of this, especially when here domestically we have so many issues, including like the massive wildfires that are going on, as well as hunger and poverty and homelessness and crime and everything else. I mean, Donald Trump talked about that during his campaign. Look, there's a lot going on, so do me a favor, make sure you stay. When you see these episodes come up, make sure that you watch them. Make sure you subscribe to them. Make sure that you share them with your friends. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.